Hey guys, it's me, the King of Dragon Puppies here, and I'm here today doing a Freaky Friday! Boo! Anyways, today we will be talking about Momo, the Missouri ape. Momo was the name of a local legend similar to the Bigfoot, which is reported to live in Missouri. The name Momo is short for the Missouri Monster, and is reported to have a large pumpkin-shaped head with a very furry body and hair covering the eyes. First reported in July 1971 near Louisiana, Missouri by Joanne Mills and Mary Ryan, Momo had been spotted up and down the Mississippi River. It is a supposedly 7-foot-tall, hairy black man-like creature that eats dogs and emits a terrible odor. Some suggest it was a rough black bear. Following sightings in 1972, beginning at 3:30 p.m., July 11th, first reported by Terry Wally and Doris Harrison, and lasting for about 2 weeks. Tracks were found and submitted to Lawrence Curtis, director of the Oklahoma City Zoo and Botanical Garden. He deemed the tracks to be a hoax. Some sightings were in 1971. A pack of picnickers reported that Momo came out of the surrounding woods while they locked themselves in their car. The creature supposedly ate their food. Must have been hungry. I wonder what they were having at the picnic. What do you think? Probably some ham sandwiches, some watermelon. But he supposedly eats dogs, so I don't know. But in 1972, local children reported seeing Momo walk past them with a dead dog. Soon after, a farmer reported a flash of light, growls, and the strong odor that is associated with Momo. Now, all that seems normal, as in logical, except for a flash of light. Now, what does this mean? Many conspiracies say that Bigfoot is an alien, but Momo, I don't know about. Now, I read all this from the Cryptid Wiki fandom, so go check that out if you have any questions about cryptids. Next up, we will be looking at the Cryptozoology A to Z book and see what they have to say about Momo. It is... Let's see. Momo Missouri Monster is another of the localized names given to hairy bipedal creatures sighted in specific geographical locations, much like the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is a creature from New Jersey in the United States, of course, and is supposedly a demon-like goat with wings, basically. It's the easiest way to put it. They even have their own hockey team named after them. Anyways, reports of hairy, half-human creatures in the area of Louisiana, Missouri had circulated since the 1940s, and in July 1971, Joanne Mills and Mary Ryan, blah, 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 we've talked about that. On August 13th, 1965, a similar-looking, huge, dark, hairy creature attacked Christine Van Ecker as she sat with her mother in their car near Monroe, Michigan. A picture of Christine's face with its highly visible black eye appeared in many newspapers around the country the next day. The real Momo scare began on July 11, 1972, at about 3:30 p.m. on a relatively sunny day near the outskirts of Louisiana. After Terry Harrison and his brother Wally had gone off to look at some rabbit pens at the foot of Marzolf Hill, their older sister, Doris, who was inside, heard a scream. Looking out the bathroom window, she saw a creature standing by a tree flecked with blood with a dead dog under its arm. Doris and Terry described it as 6 or 7 feet tall, black and hairy. Its head and face were covered with hair and no neck was visible. No neck was visible, so think about it. To look around, he would have to turn his entire body if he didn't have a neck. No. But it stood like a man, but it didn't look like one, Doris said. It soon waddled off, still with the dog under its arm. The Harrisons' own dog grew violently ill and vomited for 3 hours. So, maybe there was some kind of disease or something that would happen after sniffing or smelling the odor that affected the dog. So that's interesting. Neighbors told of dogs that had disappeared. On July 14th, terrible odors emanated from the sighting area, and the children's father, Edgar Harrison, heard eerie howls as he and investigators prowled the site. On July 21st, Ellis Minor, who lived on nearby River Road, heard his dogs barking. Thinking it was another dog, he flashed a light out in his yard, then stepped outside to observe a 6-foot-tall creature with black hair. It was standing erect in his yard. Shortly thereafter, it dashed into the woods. After 2 weeks, the scare which had attracted national attention ended. Similar creatures reported throughout the Midwest and eastern United States and Canada are often referred as the Eastern Bigfoot, but in temperament, overall descriptions, body build, and the clear lack of similar facial features, these nominate unknown hairy hominoids seem unlike the Pacific Northwest's classic Bigfoot or Sasquatch, and may be a hybrid of these classic neogiants and the marked hominids. So, yep, that's cryptozoology A to Z's definition. Now, got one more for you on Momo from the Cryptids Creatures, a field guide. Momo, first reported in 1971, it says, even though in the book it said 1940. And it is a terrestrial humanoid-like, and it has a reality rating of 4 stars, as you can see. Factoid: Momo was so popular in the 1970s, entertainer Bill White created the creature's musical anthem. Some said it was a monster, some said it was a bear, but most of us could tell by that horrible smell that Momo had just been there. That's very interesting. He was so famous that they made a jingle for him. Like no other cryptid I know of has been so famous to have a jingle. That I found very interesting. But eyewitness accounts, some accounts suggest Momo the Missouri monster had an extra wide pumpkin-shaped face, which we've heard, golden eyes, that's new, and the dark fur-covered body of a Sasquatch. But what sets the 7-foot bipedal apart is its reportedly violent behavior. Dozens of stories have been collected from the Mississippi River town of Louisiana, Missouri. One even had the creature lifting the back end of a compact car. So this thing must be strong. Now, it doesn't say what kind of car, so we can't really tell how much it weighed, but cars are still heavy. But the most detailed and best documented story was about the Harrison family, blah, blah, blah. We've heard this. Oh, this one's actually different. So there must have been many different stories told by the Harrison's point of view. Maybe it was a legend or a tale, tall tale, but from what I'm seeing, there's been many different stories. One where it's a farmer, one where it's just a normal guy. This one, it says, Doris Harrison Bliss was babysitting her 2 younger brothers one summer day when the boys ran into the house crying. They told her they'd seen a monster carrying a bloody dog in the yard, though she didn't believe the boys. Doris went outside to investigate. She saw nothing. Now, that is interesting because the last story said she'd seen something, so there's a little difference between these stories. When she came back inside, the boys built a makeshift blockade to protect themselves while Doris got back to her chores. As she cleaned the bathroom sink, she saw Momo, a tall, hairy animal covered in brush, through the bathroom window. She did not see the bloody dog, but she was terrified by what she did see. Now, she did see the bloody dog. Yet, in that story, she did see Momo through the bathroom window, but she could tell it had the dog. Now, that is a big difference. Doris called her father at work. He reassured her that it was probably their imaginations running away with them. But a few days later, he and a small group of family friends heard a mysterious roar from the woods that made them believers. Now, that's not really proof. If you hear roars, like, it could be anything. It could be a bear, could be a person even, just having fun, playing with their friends. Who knows? So, this seems very unlikely, and I think that they said, oh, they became believers. That's just not true. In a 2012 interview, Doris denied it might have been a bear, bobcat, cougar, or mountain lion roar. It was much scarier. But she's not a zoologist, so she can't tell. So, it was much scarier. Ooh, like, doesn't seem that factual. After she married, only a short time later, Doris left her childhood home and never returned. She claims there was always some terrible noise and smell lurking around. Neighbors made fun of the Harrison family after they reported the sighting to the local authorities, but Doris stands by her story. She doesn't care if they don't believe her. So, that's very interesting, I think. So, what we've learned is Momo is a humanoid, Bigfoot-like creature in Missouri, kills dogs, has incredible strength and can lift cars, and is known to be very violent and have a stench that sickens you to the bone, and also, well, let's just say, likes to eat at picnics. But that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button so you never miss another video. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye! Roar!